Good morning. Sunday morning, about 7:30 a.m. May 8th, 2022. I've been doing a series of baseball all-time matchups. Who is greater? I was looking over my list. I've done Lou Gehrig versus Ty Cobb, Tony Gwynn versus Pete Rose, Willie Mays versus Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth versus Lou Gehrig, Stan Musial versus Henry Aaron, Babe Ruth versus Ted Williams, George Sisler versus Tris Speaker, Roger Hornsby versus Hannes Wagner, Joe DiMaggio versus Ted Williams, Babe Ruth versus Ty Cobb, Henry Aaron versus Willie Mays. How can you determine who's the better ball player or who's greater? It's subjective. It's an opinion. But how about we take opinion and mix it with facts? How about career achievements? Match them up side by side, their career achievements. Who wins in these categories? What categories am I talking about? Career average. Who wins? Runs batted in, home runs, triples, doubles, singles, total bases, slugging on base, base on balls. Stolen bases, 100 RBI seasons. How many? Most runs scored in a season. Most RBIs in a season. Highest average in a season. Most hits in a season. Most 200 hit seasons. Most total career hits. How about we match up the players, their career stats? Now, some players play longer and have more games and more at-bats. For example, Henry Aaron played 795 more games than Babe Ruth. So this episode, who is greater, Henry Aaron or Babe Ruth? As far as career achievements, what do you think? All those categories I just mentioned, there's about 19 of them. Let's match up the players, Babe Ruth and Henry Aaron, in all those categories, and see who won the most categories. 19 of them, right? Now, here's the key thing to remember. Henry Aaron played 795 more games than Babe Ruth. So let's have them both play 3,298 games. Ruth played in the 1914 through 1935. Aaron, 1954 to 1974. Does the era of baseball matter? Maybe. If Ruth played in Aaron's era and Aaron played in Ruth's era, would the stats be different? Maybe. Would Ruth still be the slugger in the 1954 through 1974? Would Aaron still be the slugger in the 1914 through 1935? If you have a time capsule and you switch their positions. I don't know. That's hard to determine. But for analysis sake and opinion's sake, we got to go with what happened. And we got to do these 19 categories. I listed them all. Who wins? Career average. Ruth 342. Aaron 305. Ruth wins. Runs scored. They both scored 2174. How about that? But let's presuppose Ruth plays 95 more games. Does he pass Aaron in runs scored? Yes. And by the average of runs he scored per game in his career, we would multiply it by the 794 games. What would be the result? I'm looking here. Ruth averaged on runs scored, 0.86 runs per game he played. Played 2,500 games and he scored 2,174 runs. That's an average of 0.86, not 1 run per game, but under it, 0.86. Multiply that 795 games, and he comes out with 2,630 runs scored, if we presuppose that. Following? So he wins that one. Runs batted in, we do the same thing. Ruth had 2214, Aaron 2297, but add the 795 more games, Ruth would have had 2,913 RBIs. Home runs, 714 for Ruth, 755 for Aaron. So anybody who says that Aaron was a better home run hitter than Babe Ruth is wrong. Sorry. Aaron has more home runs, 755. But Ruth played 795 less games. Add the games, he comes up with 940 home runs. Why? Because he averaged 0.28 home runs per games played. He would have had 940 for his career if he played 795 more games. So there's no question, Ruth was a better home run hitter than Henry Aaron. Not to take away from Aaron, he's got 755, but it took him 3,298 games to do it. Triples, Ruth 136, Aaron 98. Ruth wins that one. Doubles, 506 for Ruth, 624 for Aaron. So Aaron wins the doubles. Singles, Ruth 1516, Aaron 2294. Aaron wins the singles. Total bases, Ruth 5,793. Aaron 6,856. Add the 795 more games, Ruth would have had 7,019 total bases. He wins that. Slugging, Ruth 690, Aaron 555. Again, who's the better slugger? If someone says Aaron's a better slugger than Ruth, they're wrong. Ruth 690, Aaron 555. On base, Ruth 474, Aaron 374. Walks, Ruth 2,062, Aaron 1,402. That is 600 more walks, and yet Ruth played 795 less games. He probably would have had 800 more walks if he's averaging 1 walk per game. So Ruth wins the walks. Stolen bases, Ruth 123, Aaron 240. Aaron wins that. RBI seasons, Ruth had 100 RBI seasons. Ruth had 13 of them, Aaron 10. Ruth wins. Runs, most runs in a season. Ruth 177, Aaron 127. Ruth wins. RBIs, most RBIs a season. Ruth 170. Aaron 132. Highest average in a season. Ruth 393. Aaron, his high was 355. Ruth's winning all these categories. Hits in a season. Most for Ruth was 204. Aaron 223. So Aaron wins that. 200 hit seasons. Both had 3 of them. They tie. Total hits, Ruth 2873, Aaron 3771. So Aaron has 900 more hits career than Ruth. But if Ruth played 795 more games, he would have ended up with 3,779. That would have beat Aaron. Ruth played 22 years, Aaron 23. Of course, Ruth, we know he pitched the first 4 or 5, less at bats. Because Ruth had 8,399 at bats. Aaron, 12,364. That's 4,000 more at bats, roughly, for Aaron over Ruth. So Ruth wins in career average, runs scored, presuppose, runs batted in, home runs. triples, total bases, slugging, on base, walks, 100 RBI seasons, most runs in a season, most RBIs in a season, highest average in a season, and most career hits presupposed. Aaron wins in doubles, singles, stolen bases, and most hits in a season. 14-4. Ruth wins. Who's greater, Babe Ruth or Henry Aaron? Aaron, outstanding Hall of Fame player. I rank him number 3 all time. Ruth is 1. Ty Cobb, 2. Because when I matched up Cobb and Aaron, Cobb won the categories. But as far as the greatest of all time, I put Henry Aaron number 3. You may argue, what about Ted Williams and Hornsby and Gehrig and all these guys? Well, in my Who is Greater series, I've done the Lou Gehrig versus Ty Cobb. Check that episode out. I've done the Babe Ruth for Lou Gehrig. Check that out. And I've done the Babe Ruth versus Ted Williams. Check that out. But this episode is focusing on Babe Ruth versus Henry Aaron. And according to the 19 categories, Ruth wins 14-4. Thanks for watching. We'll continue the Who is Greater Who series. Who is Greater Who? Is that the right way to say it? No. Who is Greater series. Who should I do next? I've been focusing on Babe Ruth. I did Who is Greater, Ruth or Cobb? Ruth won. Who is Greater, Ruth or Williams? Ted Williams. Ruth won. Who is greater, Ruth or Lou Gehrig? You know what happened on that one? They tied 9-9 in categories, and they tied in one other category. I had 19 categories. They tied 9-9, which was 18, and then one of the other ones, they just tied in that. They had the most 100 RBI seasons, so I remember. Both had 13 100 RBI seasons. How about that? I think that was the closest. Gehrig was the closest, and then Cobb and Williams were very close to Ruth. So I did Henry Aaron. Guess I could do Ruth and Hornsby, and Ruth and Tris Speaker. Don't forget about him. How about Ruth versus DiMaggio? Because Ruth played more games than DiMaggio. So if we presuppose and add the games for DiMaggio to Matt Ruth, what would the totals be? That would be interesting. So I'll continue this series. Thanks for watching here. I'm out.